right, my friends, so let's take a look at the next step here. And so we've got our header of our main page, we've got our website named. We want to start to add some content here down below for our page and then for many other pages. And so the nice thing about the new Google Sites is a couple things. Number one, over here where we have insert, we've got some options. I could add just a simple text box by clicking that. It's going to bring it over to the side here, and I could say, welcome to Mr. Mauer's classroom. And then I can do a couple things. I can take this as a normal text. I could also make it a title. I could make it a heading. You know, as we start to think about, maybe I have different sections throughout my page. I start to build this out. I can do headings and subheadings. The other nice thing that I can do is I can start to emphasize different parts. If I want this to stand out, I can make this blue. And then maybe I add another text box where I could say, you know, just regular fonts. I want to keep that backdrop white so I could start to have different things visually appeal to the reader or the user. I could add images. I could embed code, which you may or may not be ready for that yet. You can access anything from your Google Drive. But what I want to pay attention to now is just they have some of these pre-built layouts, which I think are pretty nice. And so what this allows you to do is they have some template sections already created. Probably the ones that I use the most is I like to use this one here, where you can add an image or a video. So this could maybe be a profile picture of you with your name and a little bio next to you. You could embed a calendar. You could add different things to this particular layout. And then I also like to use this one of 3 across. It tends to visually look pretty nice on most platforms, where I could create links, or maybe I'm showcasing work or examples of work, or I use this to link to other parts on a page. So right now I have a Lego quarantine build that I've been doing. And so just to give you an idea of how I'm using some of these layouts, each week I have a new theme for builds for kids to use with Lego. And this is usually how I lay it out. So you can see here, I've used this layout here to put the image of the theme, a little description of what it is. Here was the same thing again. I just used a background emphasis to have that pop out, and I embedded a YouTube video that kind of explains the week. And as I talked about earlier, I then use this 3-picture panel. If I have odd numbers like I do here, then I drop down a 2 panel where they're a little bit bigger. And these actually then will take the user to another page on the website, so we can start to link not just to the website, but also outside of our web as well. And so what I want you to do in this section here is you can always fix and change and move things around as needed. But I want you to think about your layout for your first page. What do you want the first site, when people come to your website, do you want them to see? What's that going to look like? Play around with some of these layouts and maybe try to get 1 or 2 in. Maybe it's a picture of you, a picture of your classroom, whatever it might be, a little welcome message. Try to get a couple things on there on that main page, and you know, submit it so we can get some feedback and share what our websites are starting to look like. And that is how we start to add some layouts. We could eventually, we'll get into this a little bit later, but we're not going to worry about that now, just worrying about layouts. We have all these other options of things that we can start to embed into our website as well. So you can see we have just a ton of possibilities. And if you have a lot of stuff already in your Google Drive, then this just makes it that much easier to get stuff live for your community, parents, students, anyone that you want to access this to have access to. All right, my friends, that is taking a look at the layout option in building your website. Peace.